Okay, so when the eclipse happened in 2015 in England, I took some photos on my phone, couldn't see the moon. When the eclipse in 2017 was due to happen, I was on Sun and Moon group and I told everyone to go looking at the moon and see if anybody could see it. And when we got the results back, we didn't know what we were expecting, but we knew that we were going to be looking for the moon. All the evidence indicated that the moon was not present. Then soundly pops up with Earthshine, and Earthshine was ridiculed and laughed at. It was a set-up trick from the start because you can't get Earthshine, but Soundly claims to have got it. Miles Davis also claims to have got it. So I tried to recreate a light source and then an eclipse to see what we should expect if we see an eclipse. So I've managed to get my glass ball ordered from America. It's got imperfections, which is perfect for what I want. I've got a telescopic variable focal LED light. I've got a laser, and I've got my normal plate. It's just a normal white plate that everybody can get. It's porcelain, I guess, or I don't know what it is. But what I'm going to do, I'm going to use the wall, and I'm going to present basically the ball through this. And what's going to happen is it's going to create an image on the wall, but it's going to be three-dimensional. Just like our sun. So I'll try and do it so that it's, there we go. There we go. Now, all I'm doing there is creating a three-dimensional sun, or a three-dimensional moon, or a three-dimensional planet. And what you can see is that if I vary different elements of the light, I can get it to change its position. Now you can see there's a blue aura around it, just like the way we see the moon. There's an edge to it that doesn't normally, you don't get when you just put a light on. Now I don't know if the camera's going to pick this up, but what I'm going to try and do is show the elements, the artifacts of the glass ball, or the imperfections of the glass ball, and get them to produce on the wall. There we go. Now I'm hoping that you can see that. Because they now look like sunspots. They look just like the sunspots, and the sunspots change over time. So it's almost like a glass ball is moving, and the sunspots are part of the glass ball being projected onto the firmament, and we're on the other side. Imagine that we're on the other side looking up, so we're looking up towards the light and seeing this on the other side of the wall. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to recreate the eclipse using the plate. And the whole point of this is to take a picture of it to see, do we get the imagery that we got? Now, this is where it's going to get awkward. Kind of need three hands. But if I get my light source, aim it onto the wall, and then I pass my plate in front of it, if I get the right size, I can create totality. Oh, let's just get this into the right place so that it can be seen. Right, where's the ball? There's the ball there. So I need it to get... Zoom that P900 out a little bit, please. Not loads. Go on, I'm watching it, it's okay. No, the other way. The other way. No, the other way, babe. Got to stop there, stop. Right, so now if I try and get this into there. It's going to take a bit of fucking around. It's kind of it there. Right, so as you can see, I'm going to try and do this so that it passes. There we go. Right, that's going to do it. Alright, so imagine that we're on the other side looking at this. There's the beginning of the eclipse. And then we get it to totality. Oh, let me try doing this a different way. This is really hard to do because I'm trying to get the light to... Now, be ready with the camera. Because what I want you to take a picture now. Now, and what we're trying to do is see, are there any artifacts that belong to the light where the plate is casting its shadow. And then as you get to totality and it comes around the other side, this is so hard to do because it's backwards. There we go. Right, so there we have the clip, there we have the thingy, and then as it goes around the other side, that's it. Right, so I've got it sussed. So there's the eclipse there, and you get to totality, hopefully, around about there. This is so hard to do. And then it passes around the other side. But now if I get this to be the question becomes, do we have any element of the eclipse? Here we see some of the photos that were taken on the camera, and I'll just take one of them. So let's just pick a good one for the sake of illustration. We'll go with this one or that one. We'll go with that one. Now I'm going to open it with photos, which is what I was doing on all of the images that I was looking at with Mike Helmick, and I'm going to basically play with it in the edit option. I'm going to apply the Zeke filter to see is there any. You can clearly see that there's a cast shadow, which we didn't see on the other photos, and I'll show you that in a minute. But then you can go into the enhancements, open up the light ones, ping these all up, and we're looking for anything that belongs to the sun, where the moon is meant to be. In this case, it's the plate. And if we play around with any of these sliders, I mean, you can even see that there's a cast shadow. You can clearly tell that there's a moon blocking the light. Okay? There's no artifacts from the sun belonging there whatsoever. I'm just trying to create something. You can clearly see that there's a cast shadow. Right, let's try and get... I'm just messing around with these to see if I can get anything. Now all of them are showing that there's a plate blocking the light, and you can see the absence of light, and there is nothing that indicates that the sun is just losing its light. It's being blocked. You can see that there's a plate blocking it. Okay. Now, let's see if I can change any of these filters. Again, there's no art. See, can you see the blue halo around the halo? There's nothing indicating that it's opaque. The shadow is completely opaque. That's what we should have been seeing at the eclipse, if there really was a moon blocking the light from the sun. But we didn't see that. There's nothing that tells you that there's any artifacts belonging to the sun. Where the moon should be. Now, when we did the observations, or when we did the research into the eclipse, you can pick any of these. I mean, there's a lot of photos here from many different people. I don't really know how many. Probably how many's on a row? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's 80. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's 120. 120. Call it 125 photographs from many different people from all over the world. Now let's just open up one of these, for instance. And when we do the same thing, open it with. I want to open. Maybe that didn't work properly. Let's open it with. Open it with photo. Oh, I'm gonna have to download this one specifically. Hang on. Open. There's the photo. There's that photo. And then if we edit this one and do the same kind of thing, click the seek one, which is what I was doing last time. Although that was actually for the. You can see that there's glow there already. Can you see that there's no blacking out of the light? That's artifacts of the sun, where the moon is meant to be. And there's other things that can be done with this photo forensically, which can be summarized best just by showing the summary of the pictures. And these are the other filters that we were applying to them, and you can clearly see that there are artifacts from the sun. Now this contrasts with what I've just shown, because you can clearly see that there's no plate in the way. There's no physical blockage of the light. It's literally, it's being blocked from the other side, because we can see that there are artifacts from the sun, which means that this is not a plate or the moon that's causing the blockage of light between us and the sun. It proves that it's on the other side. It's just losing its light from the other side, and that's why we're seeing stuff coming through. Now, bear this in mind. Bear these fields, or whatever these onion skin things are that belong to the sun. They're not present when we do the observation correctly. Let's get rid of that. Minimize that. They are not present when we look at this. You can clearly see that there's a cast shadow before you even play with it. But you can play with them, and you can see that there is a physical blockage of light caused by something in between us and the light source. This proves that the Earthshine concept is complete fiction. It proves that the moon did pass behind the sun from our perspective. It did not pass in front of it as per heliocentricity. It proves that Soundly faked it. It proves that Miles Davis was wrong to accept Earthshine as a thing. If you still believe that Earthshine is something that's real, attainable, you're never going to accept evidence contrary to your opinion. Because this proves that when there is something blocking the light source from our perspective, a shadow is cast. You can clearly see there are no artifacts that belong to the sun, and it's obvious that there's something blocking it. It's obvious. Yet when it was done in the real world, with loads of people providing evidence, and all this evidence showed the same stuff. All of this evidence showed the exact same artifacts from the sun where the moon is meant to be. That's impossible on the heliocentric model. Completely and utterly impossible. So I hope I've presented everything to you that's in a way that you all understand. Of course, comments are blocked on this video. Thank the trolls. Make your own mind up. Look at the evidence. There should not be artifacts from the sun where the moon is meant to be if the moon passed between us. I've demonstrated it in this video. There are none, but in the real world, when we did the observation, every single one of these videos or pictures produced artifacts from the sun where the moon is meant to be. Impossible. Earthshine is a fiction. It doesn't exist. You can't attain it. It's not called the Holy Grail of photography for no reason. Soundly didn't capture Earthshine. He faked it. Miles Davis accepts that there was Earthshine in his astronomy-related photos. There wasn't, because the moon did not pass in front of the sun. It went behind. Now then, still believe in heliocentricity?